Hi, it's Angie.
And Becky.
And I am with News OK, and Becky is our Recipe for Health food columnist for the Oklahoman. And today we are talking about soups that are so good in the winter. They're such great comfort foods. But this one is a simple soup. Tell us about it.
Well, it's very simple. Angie, we want to look at a lot of ideas to keep cooking simple and very healthy, low fat. And this one, we're going to start by turning our burner on to heat our oil. I have 1 tablespoon of olive oil in here.
And the name of this is chicken
It's
with
Hearty
vegetables.
Chicken Vegetables with vegetables.
Oh,
Hearty Chicken with Vegetable Soup.
There we go.
And it's so good.
Yeah, okay.
Now, we've got our onion that we're going to add here. Our oil, I think, is just about hot enough now. I've got 2 cups of chopped onion, and I've got a teaspoon of fresh garlic that I'm adding to our hot oil. And that's going to be about 2 cloves of garlic that we mince.
Okay.
And we want to cook this for just 2 or 3 minutes until the vegetables get tender, and you want to stir it continuously because it can burn easily. So we've got it on medium heat, and we're just going to stir this. Oh, can you smell those onions?
I know.
They're wonderful, aren't they? And this is the base of this soup, and then we're going to add a variety of different vegetables. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the things that I do love about this kind of a recipe is that you can change it if you have more of a particular ingredient, you don't have quite enough of another. It doesn't matter in a recipe like this.
And you also mentioned leftovers from Christmas. Maybe you have some turkey. That would be good too.
Absolutely. Instead of the chicken that we're using today,
There
you
you
could
go.
use leftover turkey.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, I think these are tender now, and I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken stock. Now, our recipe calls for 6 cups of chicken stock. You can either use fresh that you make yourself if you want to, or 1 48-ounce can of chicken stock like this is just right at 6 cups. And so we'll get all of this in here. And then if people are wanting to really cut back on their sodium intake, though, they could use stock that they have made by just cooking their own chicken breast.
Okay.
So, we've got our chicken stock in there. We've got 2 cups of carrots, and I like to just slice these about 1/4 of an inch thick. And celery. We have 2 cups of diced celery, and I always like to dice it on the diagonal. I just think it looks a little bit more festive that way, a little more decorative. And we're going to let this cook just a little bit. And then we're going to add our seasoning, and we're using thyme, and we're using the ground thyme today. It's not the thyme leaves, and it's a difference in measuring. So a 1/2 teaspoon of ground thyme and dried parsley. And one of the things that is kind of a trick about dried parsley or dried or dehydrated onion, the same thing, when it goes into a soup, it will absorb some of the liquid, and so that helps to thicken a little bit.
That's true. Nice.
So we have 1 tablespoon of our dehydrated or dried parsley. And one of the things that I love to do with recipes is to implement some kind of a particular guideline, a nutritious guideline. And one of the things we're going to do with this is use a high-fiber pasta added to it. And I've got 4 ounces of
These are the wheat.
It's whole wheat.
Whole
yes,
wheat.
it is. And it is. This happens to be linguine. You can use spaghetti or linguine. But all I'm going to do is break them in half, like so. And then each of these in half again, so that you have pieces about like this. And people, of course, can break it a little bit smaller than that if they want to, but I think that makes a nice size. We'll break this. There we go.
It adds something nice to the soup, that's for sure.
It does, and it adds fiber to the diet.
There we go.
But then it also adds a real nutty flavor, and it's got more texture than the more refined pastas do. And then our final ingredient, we have 2 cups of diced cooked chicken breast. But as you pointed out, we can certainly use turkey as well. And or if you wanted to make it just a vegetable soup, you wouldn't even have to put that in there. But this is a very hearty meal. When we are serving it, It makes generous for generous servings.
There we go.
We're serving it. We have vegetables. We have our protein.
Yeah.
This could be complemented with just a breadstick or a whole grain roll.
About how long do you need to cook it?
About 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And as it begins to cook, it thickens, and the vegetables, of course, begin to be very tender.
Very nice. Great.
Yes.
Well, let's see the final product.
Okay, it's right over here.
All right, Becky, so this is the final product. It looks beautiful. Tell me again what we have here.
Well, this is our hearty chicken with vegetable soup, and we've got vegetables, including carrots and celery and onion, the whole grain pasta, and then some very lean protein in the form of chicken. Wonderful, wonderful soup.
Yes, definitely, and something to warm the soul on these cold days, these cold winter days. Becky, thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie.
And this will be in the Oklahoman in the Life section, so make sure you check out the recipe.